Picture this. You've worked 40 years, saved every dollar you could, and now you're ready to retire. Then you get hit with an $8,400 hospital bill for a 3-day stay. And that's with Medicare. Sounds like a nightmare, right? Here's the thing nobody tells you about retirement in America. Healthcare will eat up more of your savings than anything else. And where you retire might be the difference between a comfortable life and going broke at 75. Right now, retirees in some states are paying $15,000 a year just for healthcare, while others, in places you've probably never considered, are paying less than half that and getting better care. I'm talking states with world-class hospitals, low property taxes, and a cost of living that won't drain your 401k in 5 years. Could you handle moving somewhere you never imagined just to keep an extra $200,000 in your pocket over the next 20 years? Let's find out. Here are the top 5 states that nail both healthcare and affordable living for retirees. Number 1, Iowa. Yeah, you heard that right, Iowa. Before you roll your eyes and think cornfields and boredom, hear me out. Iowa ranks 3rd in the entire nation for healthcare quality, according to the Commonwealth Fund. 3rd! That's better than California, better than New York, better than Massachusetts. Here's why that matters. The state has 118 hospitals for just 3.2 million people. That means you're never more than 30 minutes from quality care, even in rural areas. And we're not talking about outdated clinics. The University of Iowa Hospitals is consistently ranked in the top 50 nationally, and Mercy One Des Moines is a level 1 trauma center. Now let's talk money, because that's where Iowa really shines. The average cost of living for a retired couple is around $3,800 a month. That includes housing, food, utilities, and health care. For comparison, that same lifestyle in Florida would run you about $5,200. Property taxes? About $1,800 a year on a median-priced home. No state tax on Social Security benefits. And here's the kicker. Iowa has one of the highest Medicare Advantage penetration rates in the country at 51%. That means more plan options, better coverage, and lower out-of-pocket costs. Let me paint you a real picture. For $2,500 a month, you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment in a nice part of Des Moines or Cedar Rapids, have access to multiple healthcare systems, and still have money left over for actual living. Not just surviving, living. The downside? It's Iowa. Winters are cold, and if you need a Whole Foods or a Starbucks on every corner, you might get frustrated. But if you want your healthcare dollars to stretch and access to quality doctors without a 3-month wait, Iowa delivers. So why isn't everyone moving there? Because most people have never even considered it. And that's exactly why it works. Number 2, North Carolina. The southern state that's quietly become a retiree healthcare haven. Let's start with the heavy hitters. Duke University Hospital in Durham, Wake Forest Baptist in Winston-Salem, and UNC Medical Center in Chapel Hill. These aren't just good hospitals. They're research powerhouses that consistently rank in the top 30 nationally. That means cutting-edge treatment, clinical trials, and specialists who actually know what they're doing. But here's where North Carolina gets interesting for your wallet. No state tax on Social Security benefits. None. If you're pulling in $30,000 a year from Social Security, that's an extra $1,500 in your pocket compared to states that do tax it. Now, cost of living varies wildly depending on where you land. Asheville? Expensive. You're looking at $400,000 for a decent home and higher costs across the board because it's become trendy. But shift to Raleigh, Durham, or even smaller cities like Wilmington or Greenville, and suddenly that same money gets you a lot more house and a lot less financial stress. A couple can live comfortably in Raleigh on about $4,200 a month. That includes a mortgage or rent, groceries, healthcare premiums, and utilities. And you're 20 minutes from Duke, one of the best medical centers in the world. The weather doesn't hurt either. Mild winters, hot summers, but nothing like Arizona where you can't leave your house for 4 months. You get 4 actual seasons without the brutal cold that'll keep you locked inside. Healthcare access is solid too. North Carolina has 142 hospitals and over 11,000 primary care physicians. The doctor-to-patient ratio is better than the national average, which means shorter wait times and easier access to specialists when you need them. The catch? Everyone else is figuring this out too. Housing prices in the Triangle area, Raleigh, Durham, Cary, have jumped 35% in the last 5 years. So if you're thinking about it, don't wait another decade. The secret's already getting out.
Number 3, Pennsylvania. Bet you didn't see this one coming. Here's what most people don't know. Pennsylvania is home to UPMC, the University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, which operates over 40 hospitals across the state. And we're not talking small community hospitals. UPMC is ranked in the top 15 healthcare systems in the entire country. Then you've got Penn Medicine in Philadelphia, Jefferson Health, and Geisinger in Central PA. But let's talk about what really matters, your money. Pennsylvania doesn't tax retirement income for residents 60 and older. That includes 401k distributions, IRA withdrawals, and pension income. So if you're pulling $50,000 a year from your retirement accounts, you just saved $1,500 to $2,500 annually compared to states that do tax it. Property taxes are higher than some states, around $2,400 a year on a median home, but here's the trade-off. You can buy a 3-bedroom house in the Pittsburgh suburbs for under $250,000. Try doing that in Boston or Charlotte. Pittsburgh itself has had this insane transformation over the last 20 years. It went from a dying steel town to a healthcare and tech hub. And that means quality of life improvements, good food, cultural stuff without the insane costs you'd see in other cities that made similar comebacks. For retirees, smaller cities like Harrisburg, Lancaster, or even Erie offer even lower costs. We're talking $3,600 a month for a comfortable lifestyle with access to solid healthcare. That's nearly $20,000 less per year than living in a place like San Diego. The healthcare quality is legit. Pennsylvania ranks in the top 15 states for healthcare outcomes. Lower readmission rates, better chronic disease management, and more specialists per capita than most of the country. The downside? Winter. Pennsylvania winters aren't as brutal as Minnesota, but they're no joke. Snow, ice, gray skies from November to March. If you've got seasonal depression or you're over cold weather, this might not be your spot. But if you can handle 4 months of cold in exchange for $200,000 more in your retirement account over 20 years, Pennsylvania might be the move you never saw coming.
Number 4, Arizona. The snowbird capital that actually lives up to the hype. Let's start with the obvious, Mayo Clinic in Scottsdale. It's ranked the #1 hospital in Arizona and consistently in the top 5 nationally. Then you've got Banner Health, which runs 30 hospitals across the state, and Honor Health with multiple locations in the Phoenix metro. But here's what makes Arizona different from other warm weather retirement spots like Florida. The dry heat actually has health benefits, especially if you've got arthritis, respiratory issues, or joint problems. The low humidity means less inflammation and easier breathing for a lot of people. Now, where you choose to live in Arizona makes a huge difference. Phoenix and Scottsdale, expensive. You're looking at $450,000 for a median home and higher costs across the board. But Tucson, about 30% cheaper with the same quality healthcare. Prescott, even more affordable with cooler temperatures and a small town vibe. Cost of living for a retired couple in Tucson runs about $4,000 a month. That includes housing, utilities, food, and healthcare. Property taxes are relatively low, around $1,400 a year on a median-priced home. And Arizona doesn't tax Social Security benefits either. Healthcare access is solid. Over 30 different Medicare Advantage plans to choose from in most counties, which means competition and better pricing. The doctor-to-patient ratio is above the national average, and you're rarely more than 20 minutes from a hospital, even in rural areas. Here's the part nobody warns you about. Summer. We're not talking, oh, it's a little warm summer. We're talking 115-degree days for 3 straight months where you literally cannot go outside between 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. Your electric bill will spike to $300 or $400 a month just to keep your house at 78 degrees. But if you can handle 3 months of indoor living in exchange for 9 months of perfect weather, lower taxes, and world-class healthcare, Arizona makes sense. Just don't move to Phoenix and then complain about the heat. That's on you.
Number 5, Minnesota. The healthcare powerhouse that nobody talks about because of the weather. Let's get the big one out of the way first. Mayo Clinic, the actual headquarters. Rochester, Minnesota is home to the most respected medical center on the planet. If you need specialized care, cutting-edge treatment, or you're dealing with something complicated, there's nowhere better. But it's not just Mayo. Minnesota ranks number 2 in the entire country for healthcare outcomes. Lower mortality rates, better chronic disease management, higher patient satisfaction scores. The entire state healthcare system is just built different. Now here's where it gets tricky. Minnesota does tax Social Security benefits, though only for higher earners. If you're making over $100,000 in combined retirement income, you'll feel it. But if you're under that threshold, the tax hit is minimal or non-existent. Property taxes are higher than average, around $2,800 a year. But housing costs in smaller cities like Rochester, Duluth, or St. Cloud are surprisingly affordable. You can buy a solid 3-bedroom house for under $300,000, which is unheard of in most places with healthcare this good. Cost of living for a retired couple runs about $4,100 a month in Rochester. That's higher than Iowa, but lower than most coastal states. And you're getting access to healthcare that people fly in from around the world to receive. The obvious problem? Winter. Minnesota winters are legendary for all the wrong reasons. Negative 20-degree stretches, snow from October to April, and enough ice to make you question every life decision that brought you there. But here's the thing. If you've got a serious health condition, if you need regular specialist care, or if you want the absolute best healthcare system in the country, Minnesota delivers. You're trading brutal winters for peace of mind that if something goes wrong, you're already in the best place possible. And honestly, a lot of retirees make it work by going to Arizona or Florida for January and February. You get the best of both worlds. World-class healthcare 9 months a year, and warm weather when Minnesota is at its worst. So, let's recap real quick. Iowa gives you affordability and quality without the hype. North Carolina delivers great healthcare with Southern charm and no Social Security tax. Pennsylvania surprises everyone with UPMC and lower costs than you'd expect. Arizona brings world-class care and perfect weather 9 months a year. And Minnesota offers the best health care in the country if you can handle the cold. Here's what this actually means for you. Where you retire isn't just about the beach or being near family. It's about making your money last and having access to quality health care when you need it most. And the states that win on both aren't always the obvious ones. So here's what to do next. First, figure out your actual healthcare needs. Do you need specialists? Are you dealing with chronic conditions? Second, run the real numbers. Not just housing, but property taxes, state income tax, and out-of-pocket healthcare costs. Third, visit before you move. Spend a week or two in January or February to see if you can actually handle the weather and lifestyle. The retirees who win are the ones who make smart decisions based on math and healthcare access, not just where it's warm or where the friends went. Now I want to hear from you. What state are you in now, and are you thinking about moving for retirement? Drop it in the comments. And if this helped, hit that like button so more people can find it. Because the truth is, most retirees are one medical emergency away from financial disaster. And the state you choose might be the thing that saves you.